Spoken English Essentials by Breaking Barriers Training. Creating Magic Through Speech. The Zeigarnik Effect. Bluma Zeigarnik, a famous Russian psychologist, found out that our minds quickly forget finished tasks. However, they are programmed to continually interrupt us with reminders of unfinished tasks. These intrusions constitute the Zeigarnik Effect. Well, what it means is when we have unfinished tasks, we don't forget them easily. And our mind keeps reminding us that we have to finish those unfinished tasks. And the moment we finish them, our mind is put to rest. Now, let's see how we can apply the Zeigarnik effect in our speech to create magic. We can do this through thought units. What are thought units? Well, thought units are part of sentences that make sense. These are different thoughts which constitute a sentence. A simple sentence is just one thought. A complex sentence has multiple thoughts. So what do we need to do? We need to slow our rate of speech, start speaking slowly, and this will also avoid fillers. Fillers are ahs and ums and you knows and likes that we use to just fill the silence, the gap, the gap is extremely important to create magic in our speech. When we reduce our rate of speech and start speaking in short sentences or thought units, we not only have more command over the language, but are also very clear when we speak. Let me give you an example. It is a very simple example that we can use every day. For example, I'm going to the market is one thought unit. Let me add another thought unit to the statement. I'm going to the market to buy some vegetables. I'm going to the market to buy some vegetables. Now, I'm going to the market is one thought unit. To buy some vegetables is another thought unit. Let's move on to the second slide, which is pronouncing correctly. Syllables. Syllable is an independent sound unit of a word, which will always have a vowel, may or may not have a consonant. For example, pen is one syllable word. Ten is another one syllable word. Hat, cat, sight, fight, might. These are all one syllable words. Now, in order to pronounce correctly, there are two rules we need to follow. Rule number one, stress the first syllable in a two-syllable noun and stress the second syllable in a two-syllable verb or adjective. For example, pencil is two-syllable noun. Process or process is two-syllable noun again. Content and address, these are all two-syllable nouns. Let's see when we use the same words as verbs or adjectives. Process, from process to process, from content to content, and from address to address. If you notice, the entire pronunciation changes and the meaning too. Let's look at rule number two. Stress the syllable before the suffix in a more than two-syllable word. For example, psychology, technology, education, interaction, kilometer. I'm going to say it fast now. Psychology, technology, education, interaction, and kilometer. You see, what's happening is in psychology there are four syllables: psy, co, lo, g. We're just stressing the syllable before the suffix, which is logi. In education, education, there are also four syllables, and we are stressing the syllable before the suffix shun. This way we can pronounce a lot of words very correctly. Next, we will need to move on to word stress and intonation. Let's see what word stress is. Structure words and content words. There are two types of words, structure words and content words. But according to the way they function, words in a language are normally classified in two types. The content words are to be stressed, which are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and interjections. Structure words, which are used to give the sentences their grammatical structure, like articles, pronouns, prepositions, and helping verbs, are not to be stressed. Let's take an example. A statement like, I didn't say he stole the money, can be said in multiple ways, depending on the stress. It depends on which word I'm stressing. For example, if I stress I can read the same statement as I didn't say he stole the money. Now, if I move to the second content word, which is say, I didn't say he stole the money. Let me move on to the third content word, which is he. I didn't say he stole the money. Let's move to the fourth content word, which is stole. I didn't say he stole the money. And finally, money. I didn't say he stole the money. If you notice, the meaning changes as the word that I'm stressing on changes. When I said I didn't say he stole the money, this means somebody else said. Then I said I didn't say he stole the money, which means I might have written it. Let's move on to he. I didn't say he stole the money. This means probably somebody else did. I didn't say he stole the money, which means that probably he borrowed it. He didn't steal it, he borrowed it. And finally, money. I didn't say he stole the money. Well, that means that he might have stolen jewelry or something else. Let's take one more example, which is Mary is a beautiful girl. Now, Mary is a beautiful girl, or Mary is a beautiful girl, or Mary is a beautiful girl. It all depends on what you want to convey. So, depending on what message you are giving, the word stress changes, and you need to stress the word that you really want to emphasize on. Is it the beauty that you want to emphasize on? Is it that it's a girl that you're talking about, or the money that you're talking about? So, whatever you want to stress on and emphasize, you need to stress on that word. Let's move on and see how intonation works. There are four levels of intonation in English language, and there are certain rules to intonation. As you can see on the screen, there's a statement, sample statement, which says, it is a beautiful day. Now, there's a question which says, isn't it a beautiful day? Now, there are three things that you need to be conscious of here. One is open-ended questions, which are who, what, when, where, why, and how. And simple statements like this, it is a beautiful day, is a simple statement. We need to also look at close-ended questions, questions usually which start with is, can, are, will, would, could. These are close-ended questions because they tend to have an answer of yes or no, and they tend to close down conversations. Open-ended questions tend to open up conversations. When we talk about intonation, our tone needs to go up and come down in open-ended questions and simple statements. For example, it is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Day has to come down, but only in close-ended questions. The tone goes up and stays up. For example, isn't it a beautiful day? How are you today? Is coming down. How are you today? Will come down because it's an open-ended question. Are you okay? When I say are you okay, it's a close-ended question. It goes up and the answer is usually yes or no. So do remember that in open-ended questions, your tone has to go up and come down. Remember, when you talk about beautiful, it is a content word. It's going up and it's coming down in the end. When it's a close-ended question, it's going up and it stays up. And in exclamatory statements and expressions, the tone level is really high. And it's like a surprise or a shock where we use exclamatory statements. Let's move on to accent neutralization. The first thing we're going to learn about accent neutralization is plosives. There are three plosives which are T, K, and P. Examples: tower. You can also say tower, kilo, kilo, power. Why are they called plosives? Because there's a kind of explosion happening in your mouth when you say T, K, and P. That's why they're known as plosives. So if there's no air coming out of your mouth when you say T, K, and P, then you're not pronouncing it correctly. The second point here is the soft and hard TH sound. For example, soft TH sound is Thursday. The hard TH sound is there. The difference between them is when you say Thursday, your tongue is between your teeth and you're trying to blow air out. You can practice it by putting your tongue between your teeth and blowing air out and creating the sound called th, which means Thursday, thank you, 33, thieves, and the, then, there, though. Okay? So next time you need to say birthday, birthday has a soft th in it. So soft th sound and the hard th sounds are very important in accent neutralization. Next is kiss your W's and bite your V's. Now, whiskey, what, where, who, with. All these words start with W, and you need to create an O sound, and your lips should be in an O position. For example, O what, O with, O whiskey. And in terms of V, you need to bite your lower lip and say victory, vicious, vice, vision. That's how you need to use V. So always remember, kiss your W's and bite your V's. Next are certain diction drills. Diction means clarity of speech. You need to do these every day because these are based on vowel sounds and consonant sounds. If you practice this drill every day for at least 10 minutes, I guarantee you that your accent and your clarity of speech will improve. Now, all you need to do is repeat after me. Ookt, oakt, okt, act, ached, eeked, oopt, opt, opt, apt, aped, eeped, oomed, omed, armed, armed, aimed, eamed, ooved, oved, oved, aved, aved, eaved, oothed, oathed, othed, athed, athed, eathed, oost, oast, ost, asked, aced, east, oozed, oozed, awsed, ased, azed, eased, ooned, owned, oned, and, ained, eend. Try to open your mouth as much as possible when you do these drills. These will create clarity in your speech, and the other person, whoever is listening to you, will be able to understand you very clearly. Well, thank you for your time. That's the end of the session on creating magic through speech.